Have you ever felt like your small efforts go unnoticed in a world that only celebrates grand, loud gestures? Maria was a woman who knew that feeling all too well. As a single mother working at a fast food restaurant, she understood the value of every single dollar, and more importantly, the value of a kind heart. She believed that a small, quiet act of kindness was worth more than a loud, empty promise. But one evening, her quiet world was set to collide with a man who believed the exact opposite. A man who thought that the size of your wallet determined the size of your worth. What happened next would change not only her night, but the lives of everyone who witnessed it. Before we continue the story, we'd love to know where you're watching from. Please let us know in the comments so we can bring more stories that resonate with you. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss our upcoming stories. All right, let's dive into the story. The ballroom of the Grand Majestic Hotel was filled with the soft clinking of glasses and the low hum of polite conversation. Crystal chandeliers hung from the high ceiling, casting a warm golden light on the wealthy guests below. It was the annual fundraising gala for the Willow Creek Children's Hospital, an event where the city's most important people came to see and be seen. And among them, feeling a little like a sparrow in a flock of peacocks, was Maria. She wasn't wearing a designer gown. Her dress was simple, elegant, and bought on sale after 3 months of saving. She clutched a small, worn handbag, a stark contrast to the glittering clutches held by the women around her. Maria wasn't a wealthy donor or a corporate sponsor. She had bought a single ticket to the event, the cheapest one available, because the Willow Creek Children's Hospital meant more to her than anyone in that room could possibly imagine. She stood near the back, observing the crowd. Her eyes scanned the room, not with envy, but with a quiet hope that the evening would raise a lot of money for the children. That's when she first saw Mr. Harrison. He was impossible to miss. Tall and broad, dressed in a tailored suit that probably cost more than her car, he moved through the crowd like a shark parting a school of fish. He spoke in a loud, booming voice, laughing at his own jokes and clapping other men on the back a little too hard. He was the CEO of a successful real estate company, and he made sure everyone knew it. Maria tried to stay out of his way, but the room was crowded. As she squeezed past a group of people, she accidentally bumped into Mr. Harrison's arm. A tiny droplet of the red wine from his glass splashed onto the sleeve of his crisp, white shirt. It was a small accident, insignificant, but to Mr. Harrison, it was an unforgivable offense. He stopped his conversation and slowly turned to look down at her. His friendly smile vanished, replaced by a cold, angry sneer. "Watch where you're going," he snapped. His voice was loud enough to make several people turn their heads. Maria's cheeks flushed with color. I am so sorry, sir. It was an accident." Mr. Harrison looked at the tiny red spot on his sleeve and then back at Maria, his eyes raking over her simple dress with disgust. "An accident?" he scoffed. "Do you have any idea how much this suit costs? Of course you don't. This is more than you make in a year." The people nearby fell silent, their eyes darting between the powerful man and the embarrassed woman. Maria felt frozen, her heart pounding in her chest. She just wanted the floor to swallow her whole. I can pay for the cleaning," she stammered, fumbling with the clasp of her small handbag. Mr. Harrison let out a short, cruel laugh. "With what? Don't bother. Just do us all a favor and try not to bump into the people who actually matter here." He leaned in closer, his voice dropping to a harsh whisper. "Honestly, I don't know how people like you even get into places like this. This event is for people who can actually contribute, not for those looking for a free meal." Tears pricked at the corners of Maria's eyes, but she refused to let them fall. She simply nodded, whispered another, "I'm sorry," and quickly walked away, the stares of the other guests feeling like physical blows. She found a quiet corner, took a deep breath, and reminded herself why she was there. For the children. A little while later, the main part of the evening began. The director of the hospital, a kind-faced woman named Dr. Evans, gave a heartfelt speech about the hospital's work. Then it was time for the donations. As soon as the host called for pledges, Mr. Harrison saw his chance to be the star of the show again. He stood up, making sure everyone was looking at him. "Friends, colleagues," he boomed. "It is so important that we, the leaders of this great city, give back to our community." He walked toward the stage, pulling out a checkbook with a flourish. "My company believes in supporting those in need. That is why tonight, I am proud to donate $25,000 to the Willow Creek Children's Hospital." The room erupted in applause. Mr. Harrison beamed, soaking in the admiration as he handed the check to Dr. Evans. He shook her hand firmly, posed for a picture, and walked back to his table like a king returning to his throne. He shot a quick, smug glance in Maria's direction as if to say, "That's how it's done." Maria clapped along with everyone else, a polite smile on her face. She was genuinely happy for the hospital. Every dollar helped. After a few more donations were announced, Dr. Evans returned to the microphone. The applause died down. "Thank you all so much for your incredible generosity," she began, her voice warm and sincere. "Mr. Harrison, your donation is truly wonderful, and we thank you." Mr. Harrison puffed out his chest. "But tonight," Dr. Evans continued, her expression softening, "I want to take a moment to honor someone else. This person is not our wealthiest donor. In fact, most of you have probably never heard of them. For years, they have chosen to remain completely anonymous. We at the hospital simply know them by a nickname the nurses gave them, the Sunshine Angel." A curious murmur went through the crowd. Dr. Evans's eyes seemed to glow with emotion. This person's gift is not measured in thousands of dollars. It's measured in consistency, in dedication, and in pure love. From every single paycheck they earn, they donate a small amount to us. Every single paycheck, without fail. She paused, letting the words sink in. But it's more than that. This person doesn't just give money. They give their time. Every Saturday morning, when most of us are sleeping in, the Sunshine Angel is in our children's ward, reading stories to children who are scared and alone. Every Christmas, they organize a toy drive in their community, making sure that not a single child in our hospital wakes up on Christmas morning without a gift. Mr. Harrison shifted in his seat, looking bored. This wasn't about him, so he wasn't interested. "The big donations are fantastic," Dr. Evans said, her voice full of passion. "They buy us new machines and fund major research. But the consistent, heartfelt donations from our Sunshine Angel, they fund the little things that mean everything. They pay for the art supplies in the playroom. They fund our bedtime story program. They bring joy." She looked out over the silent, captivated audience. Tonight, after many years, this incredible person has finally agreed to let us thank them publicly. "It is my deepest honor to ask our Sunshine Angel, Ms. Maria Flores, to please come to the stage." For a moment there was silence. People looked around, confused. Mr. Harrison let out a quiet scoff, assuming it must be a different Maria. And then, from the back of the room, Maria Flores started to walk forward. A single spotlight found her, and a collective gasp went through the ballroom. As she walked toward the stage in her simple dress, all eyes were on her. But this time, the stares were not of pity or judgment. They were of awe and disbelief. The loudest silence came from Mr. Harrison's table. His smug smile had completely vanished, his face a mask of pure shock. His jaw was hanging open as he stared at the woman he had humiliated just an hour earlier. The woman, he said, didn't belong. Maria reached the stage, and Dr. Evans wrapped her in a warm hug. When she turned to the audience, she wasn't the shy, embarrassed woman from before. She stood tall, a quiet dignity surrounding her. She spoke softly into the microphone, her voice steady and clear. "Thank you, Dr. Evans. You don't need to be rich to make a difference," she said, her eyes sweeping over the crowd and resting for just a moment on Mr. Harrison. "You just need to care. The children at Willow Creek, they taught me that the smallest acts of kindness can be the most powerful." The ballroom was silent for a second more, and then it exploded. The applause was 10 times louder than it had been for Mr. Harrison. It was a wave of genuine, heartfelt respect. Everyone was on their feet, honoring the woman with the biggest heart in the room. Mr. Harrison didn't clap. He couldn't move. He just sat there feeling smaller and poorer than he ever had in his entire life. The $25,000 he had given for show felt like nothing compared to the priceless gifts Maria had given from her heart. As the standing ovation continued for Maria, he quietly slipped out of his chair and walked towards the exit, his face red with a shame that no amount of money could ever erase. So that was the story of Maria and Mr. Harrison. It's a powerful reminder that the true value of a gift isn't in its size, but in the heart of the giver. Maria didn't have much money, but she was the richest person in that room. What do you think is more important? Giving a lot all at once to be seen, or giving a little bit all the time without needing any recognition? Please let us know what you think in the comments below. And if this story resonates with you, please hit the subscribe button. It's completely free for you, but it helps us a lot to continue bringing you these stories. Thank you so much for watching. Have a beautiful day.